In this quarter's PES Wind, there's a lot of good articles in there. If you don't have a copy, you can go to peswind.com and download one. An interesting article from Safe Lifting, which is a European-based lifting company that does basically bespoke engineering on lifts. And they've been making a push that's saying that the next wave of projects depends on bigger turbines, of course, which means bigger lifts, but they need to have some standardization to them. Things like spreader beams and rigging systems that are pre-built and pre-validated just reduce the overall engineering time it takes to do these lifts. And rental equipment models are a lot lower cost than buying OEM-specific or site-specific lift equipment, trying to keep the capital cost down. That's one of the big pushes in the wind industry, is lowering the overall cost of installation. It does make sense, but as we were talking off air a minute ago, a lot of lifts for basically the same kind of turbine are different. The connection points are different. There's a lot of engineering that goes on there. And as the turbine sizes reach 15 megawatts plus, and the cells are massive, blades are massive, but it does seem like in a lot of other aspects of wind, there is some standardization, an IEC spec or some sort of overall guidance document for the industry. Like, let's put the lift points here, 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 and here, and lift with the right equipment. And Matthew, we just haven't done it in lifting, even in smaller turbines. Same thing.
Oh, it's crazy. I was thinking about it, and my suggestion would be that when I buy 100 turbines, I should get a blade lifting kit. It's like when you buy a car, you get a kit to change the tire, don't you? So I would have thought it would be just fundamental. But we know that the wind industry is not always logical. So what might be considered normal in a car is not normal for a wind turbine. But yeah, this sounds like a perfect way of going, to have more of a sort of standardized and not wait for the OEMs, but actually lead this and drive this standardization. So yeah, thumbs up from me.
I think this is really cool. I really hope that if we can standardize the way that we do that, we can make sure that the teams are trained in like the standard ways of lifting. I know that I've seen a few cases where someone didn't know or hadn't been exposed to a particular blade type, and they were in charge of lifting it to do a blade replacement, and then they accidentally ended up damaging the blade, and so you had this bad crack that they kind of painted over because it was a little bit embarrassing for them at the time, and then a year later it's like, well, okay, well, maybe next time ask someone if you don't know the exact lifting protocols, or if you mess up, let someone know. But yeah, a lot of these smaller and larger structural cracks that come from lifting errors would be avoided if everybody was doing the same thing or the same 2 iterations of lifting standards, which is really exciting.
If you've got a wind farm, you're guaranteed you're going to have to drop a blade at some point, aren't you?
And a gearbox and a generator.
It's pretty much a given. So like I said before, I reckon it should just be part of the standard kit that you buy. Is you buy a substation, but you also buy a lifting kit as well.
It's one of the more dangerous parts of wind is lifting, clearly, and we've seen that over time. And having standardized equipment, back to Yolanda's point, does make a lot of sense, because if you're out there doing this quite often and you have different rigging for every different OEM, you can get crosswise and things happen. And if we had some standardization there, that would make a tremendous amount of sense. That's why Safe Lifting wrote this article on PES Wind. So if you want to read this article, just visit peswind.com.